Good evening, all. Welcome to this session, which is on logical reasoning again. It is a continuation of yesterday's session. As I have told yesterday, that I will take 4 sessions on logical reasoning, that is Western logic, and 2 sessions on Indian logic. Yesterday, what we have discussed? We have discussed the meaning of logic, etymological meaning of logic. We have discussed subject matter of logic. We also discussed the that basic concept which involved in Aristotelian logic, that is traditional logic, which is called proposition, reasoning, and terms. And yesterday, I have discussed reasoning. What is reasoning? Today we will discuss the next basic term, that is called proposition. So today's session will focus on the nature of logical proposition, and in that session, in this particular session, I will cover 2 subtopics, that is called classification of proposition, that is modern classification, and traditional classification of proposition. Before I begin this session, yesterday I got some comments and some question on that, and I'm sorry I could not reply everybody, but there are 2-3 questions which is I just want to answer that, and because of the confusion might be because I have covered the whole topic, and many times I have talked about that when the argument is valid or invalid. I told only one condition you have to keep in mind for invalidity, that is if proposition true, conclusion false, then only argument is invalid. Otherwise, in all cases, argument is valid. Whether it is a combination of true proposition, whether it is a combination of false proposition, or whether it is a combination of false or false true proposition, right? So I hope I have cleared your doubt. There are 4 students were there who are asking this question. End of the session, definitely you can put your it's a request that if you have any doubt, first you listen carefully, and then end of the session, if you have any doubt, you can just put your question on this status. I will personally reply to all comments and all questions. Thank you. Now let's go for today's session, and today's session, as I said, we will discuss the another basic term that is called proposition. So I said logic is the science of reasoning, and reasoning is the process we start from something known to something unknown, and this material or data is nothing but the 3 proposition. So what is ultimately proposition? Logical proposition we are discussing, keep in mind that, okay? So now in day-to-day life, we use the word statement, sentence, or proposition. We always not use only a proposition. आपका ये proposition सही है, आपका वो proposition सही है, या विधान सही है. We don't talk like that. Okay, हम लोग कुछ और शब्द भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लाइक हम बोलते हैं स्टेटमेंट है, या आपका सेंटेंस है, या आपका विधान या प्रपोजिशन है. बट इफ़ यू सी इन अ लॉजिकल वे, अगर आप लॉजिकल वे से उससे देखना चाहें, तो एवरी प्रपोजिशन जो भी आप कह रहे हो, नॉट नेसेसरी दैट इज अ लॉजिकल प्रपोजिशन. सो व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ लॉजिकल प्रपोजिशन? दिस इज व्हाट द बिगिनिंग टॉपिक ऑफ माय दिस प्रेजेंट सेशन. Now if we ask the question, what is proposition? If I utter proposition like I am taking logic lecture, okay, so this is nothing but one proposition, or you can say statement, or you can say sentence I am uttering before you. Or some people are writing, yes I am attending lecture, yes I am listening you. So now these are nothing but what you are informing, or you are giving information to me, or you are giving information to the whole world in the particular language, in a particular manner, okay? So now simply I am taking lecture. If I call this is a vidhan or proposition or sentence or statement in initial state, initial time, so now what is ultimately this is nothing but the combination of words I am taking lecture. There are 4 different words. If you analyze this whole Vidhana, you will get 4 things there, that is I am taking lecture, right? Now I am taking lecture, these are the different words. So combining together, you are getting one simple proposition, that is called I am taking lecture. Or if I say I am taking logic lecture, so another proposition I am putting before you. So again, whatever I am saying in the quote unquote form, this is nothing but again the combination of words. So ultimately what proposition is the combination of words which convey certain meaning. Keep in mind that which conveys certain meaning. अनर्थक नहीं है, कोई अर्थ होना ज़रूरी है. अगर आप किसी को कुछ बोल रहे हैं तो आगे वाले को समझ रहा है, मतलब उसको उसका अर्थ समझ रहा है, उसको कुछ मैसेज मिल रहा है. Similarly, logical proposition convey certain meaning. It's not like abracadabra or like I am what I don't know. It's not like that. So it's a combination of systematic combination of the words which convey certain meaning, right? So proposition is that. So there are in day-to-day life there are various kinds of sentences we use in day-to-day language, everyday language. It's a language game, okay? It's logical way में logic is actually it is a game of rule. If you know the rule, you are going consistently, you are going logically. Okay, if you break the rule, you become illogical, right? So when you are talking about the proposition, so it should convey certain meaning, it should be meaningful to the other person. Now there are various kinds of sentences we used in day-to-day life, and distinct forms of proposition we use in day-to-day life. But point is, whatever we use in day-to-day life are all these the logical proposition. So this is what the topic of discussion today is. Okay. Now, if you analyze proposition, we get terms or words. As I said, proposition is a combination of words like I am taking lecture, right? If I ask you the question, what is word means? When I am saying there are 4 words in my particular sentence or proposition, जो विधान मैं आपके सामने बोल रही हूँ कि मैं अभी लेक्चर ले रही हूँ, तो मैं अभी लेक्चर ले रही हूँ, ये जो छोटे छोटे वर्ड्स है, ओके, उसका मतलब क्या होता है? उसका मतलब क्या होता है? So words means what? It's a combination of alphabets, right? Words are the combination of alphabets or letters, right? Like when I say I is a capital I. So capital I also conveys certain meaning. I means I. If I say you, so Y-O-U, you is a word which again conveys certain meaning, indicates 2 certain things. So you are getting information. So words are combination of alphabets or combination of certain what we call the letters which convey certain meaning, right? So is it clear? Proposition is a combination of words which convey certain meaning, and on the basis of that, if it consider or it's correspond to the fact, then we say yes, it is true. If it's deny the fact, then it becomes false. Like if I say I am taking lecture just now, yes, I am taking lecture just now, I am taking this session just now. So if I ask you whether it is true or false, you will certainly say yes, it is true, because that is the fact. If I say you are attending lecture, so you, a certain individual, if I take the name and if I say yes, this fellow is attending lecture, if that is a fact, then definitely your proposition will be true. So propositions are combination of words, and words are combination of alphabets or letters which convey certain meaning, right? Now, if I give you certain combination of the sentences or proposition or statement, कुछ विधान मैं अगर आपके सामने वाक्य अगर मैं आपके सामने बोलूँ, तो just listen carefully. First and foremost, you just listen carefully and try to understand कि what kind is all that are similar or they have certain differences, right? If I see you that I am attending lecture, okay, or if I say one proposition, first say my sentence is I am taking lecture, saying is I am not taking lecture. Okay, first was I am taking lecture, second is I am not taking lecture, third, if you come early then you attend lecture, right? If you come early then you attend lecture. Fourth, if I say either I come early or I attend, either I come early or I come late, right? I will say I am taking lecture and I am taking logic lecture. I repeat again the 5 which I have uttered just now. I am taking lecture. Second, I am saying I am not taking lecture. Third, I am saying if I come early then I attend lecture. Fourth, I say either I come early or I come late. Fifth, I say I am taking lecture and I am taking logic lecture. Okay, this is one combination. First part of my combination of the sentences or vidhana or vakya, जो भी आप बोले, right? Next combination, if I give you the like sixth one, if I say oh, just I am uttering the word oh, fire or oh God, right? Or I wish I could fly. I feel I am very happy. I say silence please. Or I say can you just bring that book? I repeat again this combination. I said wow, oh. And I say I wish I could fly. I feel I am very happy. Silence please. And I say another last one, I say that can you please bring that book, or will you please bring that book? Now first combination and this last combination, so almost 10 combination of vidhana vakya I have put before you. ये वाक्य मैंने आपको बोला. I repeat again in हिंदी, तो जो हिंदी में समझना चाहेंगे उनके लिए मैं फिर से रिपीट करती हूँ. ऑर्गेनाइज़र ने हमें रिक्वेस्ट की है कि बाइलिंगुअल होगा तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा. मराठी भी बोल सकती हूँ मगर टूट फूट गई तो मुश्किल हो जाएगी. तो पहला हमने कहा मैं लेक्चर ले रही हूँ, पहला विधान का. दूसरा वाक्य मैंने कहा मैं लेक्चर नहीं ले रही हूँ. फिर मैंने कहा यदि मैं जल्दी आऊँगी तो मैं लेक्चर अटेंड करूँगी. फिर मैंने कहा कि मैं जल्दी आऊँगी या फिर लेट आऊँगी. ठीक है. उसके बाद हमने कहा कि मैं लेक्चर ले रही हूँ और मैं लॉजिक लेक्चर ले रही हूँ. उसके बाद मैंने सिर्फ एक ही शब्द बोला वाह, अरे वाह. हम बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में अरे वाह, राइट. फिर हमने कहा क्या आप चुप रहेंगे. फिर हमने कहा क्या आप वो बुक लेकर आएंगे. फिर हमने कहा काश मुझे इच्छा है, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं खुश हूँ और काश मैं प्रेसिडेंट होती या काश मैं उड़ सकती. तो ये जो कॉम्बिनेशन आपके सामने मैंने रखा है, एंड ऑफ द मोमेंट क्वेश्चन आता है कि क्या हम इन सबको प्रपोजिशन, लॉजिकल प्रपोजिशन कह सकते हैं क्या. आपका जो पेपर 1 होता है ना, ये जो अभी हम टॉपिक ले रहे हैं प्रपोजिशन, जो सिलेबस में आपका वर्ड है कैटेगोरिकल सिलोजिज्म, कैटेगोरिकल प्रपोजिशन. फर्स्ट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कैटेगोरिकल प्रपोजिशन, देन नेक्स्ट सेशन में वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट कैटेगोरिकल सिलोजिज्म. सो नाउ जो हम कह रहे हैं विधान वाक्य, क्या वो सभी तार्किक विधान है, ये क्वेश्चन हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. अगर आप देखिए whatever I have put before you, if you just go through it, definitely you will say no, it all are not in a same form or all are not same. There is a difference, certain difference is there whatever I have uttered. So logically if we go for this कि which are actually a logical proposition or statement or which are not, it are just a वाक्य और विधान, वाक्य है विधान नहीं है, तो सेंटेंस है या प्रपोजिशन है या स्टेटमेंट है, ये टॉपिक हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. तो जो हमने लास्ट में पहला अगर आप देखा जाए, पहले जो हमने बोला वो अगर हम बोले तो होकारार्थी था. एक अफर्मेटिव सेंटेंस आई सेड यस आई एम टेकिंग लेक्चर, देन आई सेड आई एम नॉट टेकिंग लेक्चर. ओके, नेगेटिव, it becomes a negative. Then I said if I come early then I attend lecture, so it was like a conditional proposition. Then either or the other condition I have used, and then I combine two proposition together and I said I am taking lecture and I am taking logic lecture. ये फर्स्ट 5 का कॉम्बिनेशन था. Then if you go for the last 5, that was just showing my expression, my feeling, my wish, right? So the sentences which express just your feelings or your expression or your wish are not actually or command, which is like I said, can you bring that book, will you bring that book? So it's a request or command or order. So such kind of expressions are not logical proposition. Keep in mind that, okay? Which express your feeling, your wish, command, request are not logical proposition. So which proposition are logical proposition? Those only indicative or informative, which give you certain information. Okay, like I said, I am taking lecture. Okay, so I am taking lecture, giving certain information to you. I am taking logic lecture. This is also a certain proposition. I am saying if I come early, I attend lecture. Simply I am conveying you something. But which expression, it is unpredicted, probable, doubtful होता है. अगर मैं मोमेंट में बोल रही हूँ, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ, हो सकता है मैं नाटक कर रही हूँ या ड्रामा कर रही हूँ, शायद मैं खुश नहीं हूँ, हो भी सकता है. या फिर मैं सिर्फ आपको दिखावा कर रही हूँ, तो आप कैसे बोल सकते हो कि ट्रू है या फॉल्स है? आजकल तो हम सब ड्रामा ही करते हैं, राइट? बहुत से एक्सप्रेशन जो भी है, एक्चुअली एवरीबडी इज एक्टर इन दिस होल वर्ल्ड, एवरीबडी. सो आप बोल नहीं सकते, बट लॉजिकल कंडीशन जो ट्रू फॉल्स दी गई है उसके आधार पे आप जो सर्टेन कंडीशन प्रपोजिशन है उसको आप ट्रू या फॉल्स बोल सकते हैं. वो क्या है दैट वो मैं आगे आपको बताऊंगी ज़रूर. तो सिंपल है, व्हाट जो भी मैंने बोला, वट एवर आई हैव गिवन द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ प्रपोजिशंस, ऑल आर नॉट सेम. First 5 is actually giving you information. It is declarative sentences, so these are all logical proposition. And the last 5 is just express wish, just talking about the command or order or my feeling. So that are all not, these are all just sentences, not logical propositions. Okay, so conclusion of this whole 10 minutes discussion is what? All propositions are sentences. Underline, logic student, those who are interested in next set exam or preparing for this exam, just underline this statement which I am saying, that all propositions, all logical propositions are sentences, but every sentences are not proposition. I repeat again, every propositions are sentences, but every sentences are not proposition. Okay, so yes, this is what the difference between proposition that which I said, that which is you can definitely say whether it is true or false. So only informative, indicative proposition you can say it is true, and the feeling and wish are unpredicted. You can't say definitely whether it is true or false. So that are not the, these are just sentences. So every propositions are sentences, but every sentences are not proposition. Keep in mind. Now the next point is, when I told yesterday that whatever we are doing in this paper is traditional logic paper, and Aristotle has introduced it, and Aristotle is the founder of traditional logic. So Aristotle is talking about only he is accepting only categorical proposition. What is that? That is my next point of discussion. Now this proposition which I said is a combination of words or words. So this proposition is actually divided into two. There are two classifications. One is traditional classification where Aristotelian kind of proposition comes, and other is a modern classification that is not a part of our paper 1. That is part of for our philosophy student, because there are 2 units in logic in our paper 2 of philosophy in next set syllabus. So modern classification I will just tell you about the information very briefly, and my job is to talk about the traditional classification of proposition, because the whole logic is based on this proposition. Okay, so whatever I am talking now is a foundation of traditional logic, so please pay attention everybody. So traditional classification of proposition में we have 2 classification, that is we call categorical proposition and conditional. if you remember just now, which I have given the bunches of sentences, and I have uttered that if I come early then I attend lecture, and I said either I come early or I come late. So there are the only two conditions in logic we use: if, then, and either or. Okay, so if then kind of preposition is known as a conditional, that is hypothetical preposition, and either or kind of preposition is known as conditional preposition, disjunctive preposition. So under conditional preposition we have in two kinds, because only two conditions are there in logic: if then hypothetical preposition, and either or disjunctive preposition. On the other side, just for your information I am saying, because when I put the bunches of sentences before you, I use certain words like not, I use certain words like and then of course these two conditions were there: if, then, either or, and one more condition modern logician has used. So modern logician, before I go for modern logician, just one line may I tell you what is a categorical preposition. And then in detail, once I finish my modern classification of preposition, then I come again for Aristotelian kind of preposition, that is a categorical preposition. So as I said, under traditional classification we have two division: one is conditional and the other is categorical. So conditional, just now I said that hypothetical disjunctive is known as conditional preposition, and the other side we have categorical, that is subject predicate type of preposition. Okay, subject predicate type of preposition means what? Means whatever you are saying, you are talking about somebody, okay, and you are giving the information, additional information about that somebody. Subject, आप जो भी बोलते हैं उसका कोई विषय होता है, बराबर। जैसा ये क्लास के पहले प्रोफेसर वाघ बोल रहे थे और स्कॉलरशिप के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, ओके, तो गवर्नमेंट स्कॉलरशिप एंड ऑल, तो सब्जेक्ट क्या था उनका? स्कॉलरशिप, राइट। तो जब भी हम बात कर रहे हैं तो उसका कोई विषय होता है, तो उसको हम सब्जेक्ट बोलते हैं, बराबर। तो एक सब्जेक्ट होता है और वो सब्जेक्ट खाली हम खाली लॉजिक नहीं बोलते हैं, हम उसके बारे में एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन देते हैं। जब हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं लॉजिक, तो लॉजिक में हम सिर्फ एक ही बात डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम आगे जाते और बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको देते हैं, उसको कहते हैं एट्रीब्यूट्स और क्वालिटी और इन्फॉर्मेशन, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रेडिकेट। सो एवरी प्रपोजिशन में, हर विधान में एक सब्जेक्ट होता है, ओके, और प्रेडिकेट मतलब उसके बारे में एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन, उसका एट्रीब्यूट होती है, क्वालिटी होती है, तो वो सबको हम प्रेडिकेट बोलते हैं। तो एरिस्टोटल इज टॉकिंग अबाउट सब्जेक्ट प्रेडिकेट टाइप ऑफ प्रपोजिशन, okay, so for him that all preposition whatever we talk about, every preposition has subject and predicate, that is called categorical preposition. I will in detail I will go after few minutes. So under traditional classification we have categorical and conditional preposition. I hope this is clear to all. Now when I talk about the other bunches, that first five, modern logician has just took over that Aristotelian foundation of preposition, and they move ahead and they use the words, like they use certain symbol. As I am a teacher of symbolic logic, so we use certain symbols for whatever we are talking. It's like a coding words, okay। हम लोग को अगर कुछ क्या बोलते हैं, खास मैसेज लिखना होता है और सभी को पढ़ना नहीं आए, पढ़े ना, तो हम कुछ सिंबल यूज़ करते हैं ना, कोड वर्ड्स जिसे बोलते हैं, बराबर। तो वो लाइक स्टेनो जो होती है वो टाइप करती है किसी का भाषण वगैरह, तो वो कुछ सिंबल यूज़ करती है। अगर आपने कहीं देखा होगा तो वो पूरा जो हम बोल रहे हैं वो सब लिखते नहीं बैठते हैं, वो कुछ सिंबल यूज़ करते हैं, और वो सिंबल का मतलब जो लोग उसमें एक्सपर्ट है उन्हीं को पता होता है। तो कोड वर्ड जो है, तो हम सिंबॉलिक लॉजिक में भी हमारे कुछ सिंबल्स होते हैं। तो मॉडर्न लॉजिशियन हैज डेवलप्ड दिस बंचेस ऑफ preposition with certain symbols. So like वहाँ पे they are talking about 5 kinds of preposition. Like when I gave that given preposition is like I am taking lecture, okay. So if I want to deny it, I will use the word not. I am not taking lecture. So it becomes a negative preposition. So one kind is that is negative preposition. Then two preposition together, I can, this is called compound preposition. First I said I am taking, like, it's just a simple preposition, only one was there, so that is called simple preposition. Okay, and only one preposition. And the other kind of preposition is called compound, means more than one preposition, which conjoined with certain symbol or certain connectives. So like I said, I am taking lecture and I am taking logic lecture. ओके, लॉजिक बोले तो वेस्टर्न लॉजिक लेक्चर, बराबर, मैं लेक्चर ले रही हूँ और मैं कौन सा लेक्चर ले रही हूँ, पाश्चात्य तर्कशास्त्र का लेक्चर ले रही हूँ अभी, राइट। तो ये दो डिफरेंट विधान है, ये दो, दीज आर द टू डिफरेंट प्रपोजिशन कंजॉइंड विथ एंड, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड कंजंक्टिव प्रपोजिशन. देन आई सेड इधर आई कम अर्ली देन आई अटेंड लेक्चर, राइट. सो इधर यू क्या बोलते हैं, अभी जैसे फेसबुक लाइव क्लास चल रही है या फिर जो भी हम बोलते हैं इसको स्पीच बोलो या जो भी बोलो, अगर आप टाइम पे आप उस आओगे तो आप शुरू से सुन पाओगे, उसके बाद वीडियो अपलोड होगा वो बात की बात है, आप रिपीट टेलीकास्ट देख सकते हैं. मगर जब हम लाइव देखना है तो कंडीशन होगी यू कम ऑन टाइम देन यू अटेंड फुल लेक्चर. सो कंडीशन है, यदि आप जल्दी आओगे, टाइम पे विजिट करोगे तो आप फुल लेक्चर सुन पाओगे, बराबर ना. तो कंडीशन है. अगेन दो चीज़ों को हमने जर दर म्हणतात आम्ही त्याला, ओके, इफ दॅन में कंडीशन में हमने उसे डाल दिया. देन इधर और, ओके, इफ यू कम अर्ली और यू कम लेट, इफ आई कम अर्ली, सॉरी, इधर आई कम अर्ली और आई कम लेट, मैं जल्दी आऊँगी या फिर लेट आऊँगी. तो अगेन दो डिफरेंट चीज़ें जो इधर और से जुड़ी हुई है उसको डिस्जंक्टिव प्रपोजिशन कहते हैं. एंड वन मोर कंडीशन मॉडर्न लॉजिशियन यूज दैट इफ एंड ओनली इफ. If and only if you come early, then you understand logic. Okay, so there is a difference. वो आपके syllabus का part नहीं है. Just for information, I am talking about modern logic. So modern classification में you have simple and compound. तो simple में only one preposition. In compound preposition you have more than one preposition. Okay, conjoined with certain connectives like negative preposition. I am not taking lecture. Second, I said I am taking lecture and I am taking logic lecture, so it is called conjunctive preposition. Third is I can say that either I take Indian logic or Western logic. Okay, that is called disjunctive. Either or is the condition. Then if I say if I take logic, then you come early. So again condition is there, or if you come early then only you can understand logic. So if then there are the two parts of preposition, so that is called implicative, material implicative preposition. And the last one is if and only if you come early then you understand logic. That is another kind of conditional preposition which is known as material equivalent preposition. Again I am repeating, this is not a part of your paper 1, but just for information I am telling you this. Now come to our again back to traditional classification of preposition, and I said that categorical preposition. Today I will show something because logic is a technical, purely technical paper, and without board actually this is very difficult to teach logic. Okay, I hope this is visible to all. If I get any comments I can understand it's visible to all. Okay, there are two prepositions which I have kept here, that all men are mortal, Socrates is man. Okay, all men are mortal, no men are mortal, some men are mortal, some men are not mortal. These are the four different prepositions are here. So Aristotle talks about such kind of preposition. Okay, such kind of means there are four things I am putting before you. As I repeat again, Aristotle has given the definition of categorical preposition, that you affirm something or deny something without any condition. This is what the definition given by Aristotle. Okay, categorical preposition is that which affirms something, denies something without any condition. Now see here, Aristotle is not accepting any condition like if, then or either or. Okay, he is simply taking one preposition like all, I can say all students are present, no students are present, some students are present, some students are not present. These are the four different prepositions. Now every preposition, I said, what I said, that every preposition it has a subject and predicate. Okay, and before this definition I said, whenever you are saying any preposition, there is one subject and you are giving more information. Okay, more information. So now if you say that all men are mortal, okay, now here the subject is what? Men, and you are giving the information of that men is mortal, right? So like if I say all students are present, so students are the subject and the predicate predicate is present. So you are giving more information about that particular subject. So Aristotle talk about subject predicate type of preposition, which is known as categorical preposition. Again I repeat, Aristotle has given the definition of categorical preposition is what? The preposition is subject predicate type of preposition which affirms something, denies something without any condition. Okay, now I am helpless because just a mirror image, some comments are there, but anyway, you just keep in mind whatever I am telling you now. I am repeating again and again, so you just listen carefully. So all men are mortal. One preposition. So men is a subject and mortal is a predicate, right? No men are mortal. Again, men is a subject, mortal is a predicate. Some men are mortal. Again here that men and mortal is there, and some men are not mortal. Again men and mortal is there. So subject and predicate. Every preposition has subject and predicate. So Aristotle has given 4 kinds of preposition which is based on quality and quantity. Quality means what? Quality is affirmative and negative. Before my a few minutes back I have given the bunches where I said I am taking lecture, and immediately next moment I said I am not taking lecture. Okay, so first moment mein I was affirming something, and the second moment mein I was denying something. Got my point? And affirming something or denying something without any condition is called categorical preposition. This is the definition. So all men are mortal. यहाँ पे you don't have any negation sign, you are not denying anything. सर्व मानव मर्त्य है, आप इसमें कोई भी negation sign नहीं देख रहे हैं, negative word नहीं देख रहे हैं, बराबर? तो ये होकारार्थी है. और अगर मैं कहूँ सर्व मानव मर्त्य नहीं है, नहीं, not, no men are mortal, तो ये preposition क्या हुआ? Negative हुआ. So you are accepting something is called hokararthi, affirmative. You are denying something या negative और नकारार्थी. So quality दो होती है, नकारार्थी और होकारार्थी. That's negative and affirmative. In quantity means what? Quantity मतलब आप एक तो पूरी क्लास के बारे में बोल रहे हैं या फिर उसके क्या बोलेंगे हम पार्ट के बारे में बोल रहे हैं. Like you are talking about the complete class, or you are talking about the some part of the class. Okay, so like when I say all students are present, I am talking about the all, so it's a complete class. And if I say some students are present, so some means what? Some part of the class. So whenever you give this subject kind of subject predicate type of preposition, you will talk about the complete class or part of the class. Okay, so on the basis of quantity, you have 2 preposition that is called universal and particular. मुझे अभी शब्द याद नहीं आ रहा है हिंदी में यूनिवर्सल और पर्टिकुलर के लिए, तो बट इट्स अ टेक्निकल पेपर, तो हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों भी आपके सामने होता है, तो प्लीज़ इट्स अ रिक्वेस्ट, आप लॉजिक अगर सीखे तो उसके इंग्लिश शब्द अगर आप ध्यान में रखेंगे तो मेरे ख्याल से आपको आसानी होगी, क्योंकि जहाँ तक हिंदी बुक्स भी हिंदी बुक अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो लैंग्वेज बहुत टफ होती है और वो समझने में बहुत डिफ़िकल्टी होती है. तो अगर आप ऐसी आसान बुक, बेसिक बुक देखें जिसमें हिंदी के साथ इंग्लिश वर्ड भी लिखे होते हैं, और जहाँ तक मैं अगर रेफरेंसेस की बात करूँ तो बहुत सी ऐसी हिंदी भाषा की किताबें हैं तर्कशास्त्र पे जिन्होंने इंग्लिश शब्द का इस्तेमाल भी किया है, ठीक है। सो यूनिवर्सल एंड पर्टिकुलर ये आपको दिखेगा, ओके। नाउ सो वी हैव टू क्वालिटीज, व्हाट इज दैट? अफर्मेटिव एंड नेगेटिव, टू क्वांटिटीज, पर्टिकुलर एंड यूनिवर्सल. So again I repeat, so Aristotle talk about four kinds of categorical proposition. Just now I said all students are present, no students are present, some students are present, some students are not present. I'm sorry, मुझे नहीं पता आपको सीधा दिख रहा है या नहीं दिख रहा है, बट फिर भी मैं आपको दिखाना चाहूँगी. सो यहाँ पे सभी एवरी प्रपोजिशन है सब्जेक्ट एंड प्रेडिकेट, दैट आई हैव टोल्ड. In the beginning I said if you break the preposition you will get the words. So now in these four forms you have four breakups, four parts of the preposition. Which are the four parts? Of course subject predicate is there, so that main and mortal is your two parts of preposition. Now there you have all, no, some words, okay. So all, no और some दिस शोइंग द क्वांटिटी, आपको संख्या बता रही है कि आप सबके बारे में बोल रहे हो, ओके. सो ऑल अगर आप बोल रहे हैं सभी मानव मरते हैं तो आप पूरी क्लास के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, तो ये यूनिवर्सल हुआ, बराबर. और अगर आप ये बोले कि सभी मानव मरते नहीं हैं, नो मेन आर मॉर्टल, सो अगेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंप्लीट क्लास, ओके. सो ये यहाँ पे आपका जो आप क्वांटिटी के बारे में बोले थे, सम बोले तो अगेन आप पार्शियल क्लास यानी कुछ मेंबर के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे यू आर शोइंग द व्हाट वी से संख्या पूरी है या अधूरी है या फिर सम पार्ट है. तो कंप्लीट क्लास और पार्शियल क्लास में यू आर शोइंग द क्वांटिटी. सो इट इज कॉल्ड फर्स्ट पार्ट. ऑल, नो, सम इज नोन एज क्वांटिफायर. ये क्वेश्चन फिलोसॉफी के स्टूडेंट के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि हमारे लॉजिक सेक्शन में भी ये होता है. तो ऑल, नो, सम दीज आर द क्वांटिफायर्स. ये आपके पेपर 1 के लिए उतना इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है, बट ऑफकोर्स जो पार्ट मैं अभी आगे लेने वाली हूँ उसके लिए आपको क्वांटिफायर, सब्जेक्ट, प्रेडिकेट ये सब मालूम होना चाहिए. नाउ और एक पार्ट है उसके बीच में जो सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट को जोड़ता है, जैसे मेन आर मॉर्टल और स्टूडेंट्स आर प्रेजेंट. सो आर जो है बीच का इज अ रिलेटम, वी कॉल्ड रिलेटम और कनेक्टिव बिटवीन सब्जेक्ट एंड प्रेडिकेट, जो आपके विषय को और विधेय को जोड़ता है, ओके. तो सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट का जो जोड़ होता है उसको हम कोप्यूला, COPULA, कोप्यूला बोलते हैं, बराबर. तो देयर आर फोर पार्ट्स ऑफ कैटेगोरिकल प्रपोजिशन. ऑल, नो, सम इज नोन एज क्वांटिफायर, ओके. कीप इन माइंड जस्ट वन प्रपोजिशन, ऑल, मेन आर मॉर्टल, एंड जोड़ो नो, सम, ऐसे आप जोड़ते जाएंगे आपको मिलेगा. सो ऑल, मेन आर मॉर्टल में ऑल जो है वो क्वांटिफायर है. सो ऑल, नो, सम इंडिकेट्स द क्वांटिफायर. मेन जो होता है या स्टूडेंट जो है वो सब्जेक्ट है. मॉर्टल बोलो या स्टूडेंट प्रेजेंट में प्रेजेंट बोलो वो आपका प्रेडिकेट है. एंड आर या इज जो कनेक्टिव होता है सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट के बीच में उसे हम कोप्यूला कहते हैं. मुझे हिंदी शब्द मालूम नहीं, माफ़ कीजिएगा, बट इंग्लिश में हम इसे कोप्यूला कहते हैं. सो क्वांटिफायर, सब्जेक्ट, कोप्यूला एंड प्रेडिकेट, दीज आर द फोर पार्ट्स ऑफ categorical preposition. I repeat again, quantifier which shows the quantity of preposition, whether it is a universal or particular, okay, whether it talks about the complete class or part of the class. Then you have a subject. So you are talking about, subject means you are talking about something, like you are talking about main or you are talking about the student. So there is a subject about which you are talking. Then predicate is a quality or attribute of the subject, that is predicate. And the copula which is a relatum or relative between or connective between subject and predicate, okay. So subject को हम S यूज़ करते हैं, कैपिटल S, और predicate के लिए कैपिटल P यूज़ किया जाता है, ठीक है. आगे और बाकी लोगों का, बाकी पार्ट्स का हम क्या करते हैं वो बात बाद में डिस्कशन होगा. फॉर दिस मोमेंट 4 पार्ट्स आई हैव कंप्लीटेड, दैट क्वांटिफायर, सब्जेक्ट, कोप्यूला एंड प्रेडिकेट. नाउ again I repeat, all men are mortal, no men are mortal, some men are mortal, some men are not mortal. Now Aristotle has given these forms, 4 forms standard forms of preposition. Day to day life में we every time we don't talk like all know some. We use the other words, but how to convert that other words in logical language, that is actually your exam. Okay, so I will take one by one once I complete my portion. And the last session may, like I will take 4 session. I have already completed 1 session yesterday. Today I am taking this, and then tomorrow and day after tomorrow I will take a 30 session on Western logic only. So my 4th session may, once I complete everything, I will definitely discuss the questions. But during my class also I am giving you idea that what kind of question is there. Okay, and last class may, and definitely once I finish my square of opposition or some example I will definitely take. Please, those who are doing logic, this is homework for them. You just keep in mind what is this square of opposition, what is categorical proposition. So next tomorrow if I am taking another topic, so you will get easily the answer. So you will reply me that this is what this madam, that madam, वगैरह वगैरह. Okay, so आप ये फाउंडेशन पक्का ज़रूर कीजिएगा. तो पहला फाउंडेशन मैंने आपको बता दिया. विधान के 4 भाग होते हैं, जिसको क्वांटिफायर, सब्जेक्ट, कोपुला और प्रेडिकेट बोलते हैं. और विधान जो एरिस्टोटल ने बताया है, लॉजिकल तार्किक विधान, उसके 4 प्रकार होते हैं, जिसे हम यूनिवर्सल अफर्मेटिव, यूनिवर्सल निगेटिव, पर्टिकुलर अफर्मेटिव, पर्टिकुलर निगेटिव कहते हैं. जो मैंने अभी बोला, ऑल मेन आर मॉर्टल. नाउ ऑल इंडिकेट्स द होल क्लास, सो इफ द क्वांटिटी इज यूनिवर्सल. नाउ देयर इज नो नेगेटिव साइन, सो इट इज अफर्मेटिव प्रपोजिशन. So all men are mortal or all students are present is known as universal affirmative proposition. Now second, no men are mortal. Again आप बोल रहे हैं सभी मानव मरते नहीं हैं. Again you are talking about the complete class, so it is a universal, and now no means a negative sign, so it is universal negative proposition, right? Then you are talking about particular, like some men are mortal. Now some बोले तो part of the class, so you are talking about the part of the class. आप कुछ लोगों के बारे में बोल रहे, कुछ मानव मरते हैं, तो it is particular. Okay, and वहाँ पे कोई भी negative sign नहीं है, so it's called particular affirmative proposition. And last one, some men are not mortal. Okay, some बोले तो some of the class, so part of the class you are talking about कुछ लोगों के बारे में, and there is not is there, underline that not is a negative sign, so it is particular negative proposition. Understood the point? That universal affirmative, all students are present. Universal negative, no students are present. Particular affirmative, some students are present. Particular negative, some students are not present. These are the 4 standard forms of proposition. Now there is a name for it, like I am Archana. Archana is my name, so whatever the figure before you, you can call Archana. So this Archana is nothing but the name of this individual. Similarly, whatever I am saying, all men are mortal, universal affirmative, universal negative, Aristotle has used or given the particular name for it. Like he has given the capital words like capital A. This is what your foundation, logic student, please. अगर आप सो रहे होंगे तो जाग जाइए, ये आपका फाउंडेशन स्टार्ट हो गया है. आपका पेपर जो है फुल्ली कैटेगोरिकल प्रपोजिशन, कैटेगोरी स्क्वायर ऑफ अपोजिशन, और जो कल मैं लूँगी कैटेगोरिकल सिलॉजिज्म, उसके आधार पे होता है. ओके, सो कैपिटल ए इज यूज्ड फॉर यूनिवर्सल अफर्मेटिव प्रपोजिशन. सो ओनली ए डिनोट्स फॉर यूनिवर्सल अफर्मेटिव. एक इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आपको आता है. सो इन लॉजिक ए डिनोट्स फॉर, you will have 4 option: universal affirmative, universal negative, particular affirmative, particular negative. So capital A for universal affirmative, that is all students are present. Capital E for no students are present, that is what? That E universal negative proposition. Capital I for particular affirmative proposition, that is some students are present. Capital O for particular negative proposition, that is some students are not present. Okay, so A, E, I, O. A बोले तो universal affirmative proposition, E बोले तो particular universal negative proposition, I particular affirmative, O particular negative. So instead of calling universal affirmative, universal negative, particular affirmative, particular negative, your paper may you will get that A, E, I, O words. Okay, so A denotes to universal affirmative, E denotes to universal negative, I denotes to particular affirmative, and O denotes to particular negative proposition. So only 4 vowels Aristotle has given because there is no fifth proposition. So A, E, I, O. There is a reason for A, E, I, O. I affirm, affirmo. So I affirm, this is the Latin word, is there. So I accept. So capital A for universal affirmative and small I he used for particular affirmative proposition. Then Ningo, that is the word, Latin, again another Latin word, that is ENGO. So capital E used for the universal negative and small o for particular negative proposition. So 4 standard forms of categorical propositions are A, E, I, O. Right? Now the next topic, which is for I hope I have a time. So quickly, I give you a homework that the next topic, which is for based on the relation between this A, E, I, O proposition. Okay, which we call, Aristotle has given the square, that is called, he has talked about the relation between the proposition and he used the square, and this kind of square he used. Okay, so this is called square of opposition, where the relation between any two proposition. So you traditional logic में categorical proposition we have 4 proposition A, E, I, O. So any proposition has a certain relation and it is opposite either in a quality or a quantity, and that's why square of opposition is also known as opposition of proposition. Okay, so it is a relation between any two proposition, whether A, E, I, O or A, I or E, O, right? So A, E, I, O, the relation is there. Now now your paper 1, most of the part of this paper 1 is based on this square of opposition. Okay, so opposition is a relation between two proposition. So first proposition, that first part, that square जो है आपका ऊपर का भाग, so A and E, these are the 2 universal proposition, right? So the relation between A and E is known as contrary. Again I repeat, A proposition, all men are mortal. E proposition, no men are mortal, or all students are present, no students are present. Okay, so the relation between these 2 universal proposition is known as contrary proposition. Okay, which has same subject, all students are present, no students are present. Okay, same subject बोले तो student and present, same subject, same predicate, same quantity, both are universal, but differ in what? Differ in quality, because A is affirmative, E is negative. Understood the first opposition A and E, and what your role is, you have to just keep in mind the condition for this relation. If you understand the condition, then you will get the correct answer, and this is what the major part of your paper 1. I repeat again and again, and the condition is A and E, 2 universal proposition which has same subject, same predicate, same quantity, but differ in quality. Now these all students are present and no students are present. The condition is they cannot be true together. They cannot be true together, but they may be false together. Keep in mind my wordings, can't be and may be. Can't be यानी बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता, may be यानी possibility है, जो doubtful हम बोलते हैं ना. Okay, तो wordings पे ध्यान रखिए. So they cannot be true together. If all students are present, how can I say that no students are present? I can't. So अगर all student present है, सभी student present है, तो no students are present तो false हुआ, बराबर ना? तो they cannot be true together, but they may be false together. How? Like another example which I give, all Maharashtrians are Bengali. It's false. And no Maharashtrians are Bengali. Okay, all Maharashtrians are Bengali, no Maharashtrians are Bengali. So they may be false together, but they cannot be true. Okay, this is called contrary relation. Now second, go to down square, that is called I and O, sub-contrary relation. Sub-contrary relation is always between two particular propositions, like some men are mortal and some men are not mortal, which has again same subject, same predicate. Like if I say some students are present, some students are not present. So same subject, same predicate, same quantity again, because both are particular, but differ in what? Differ in quality, because I is particular affirmative, O is particular negative. So it differs in quality. Now the condition for it is they can be true together. Of course, if some students are present is true, that means some students are not present is also true. Correct? So they can be true together, but they cannot be false together. Keep in mind that. Okay, they can be true together, but they cannot be false together. अगर some part सही है, तो that means some part सही नहीं है, तो दोनों भी true हुआ, बराबर, पर दोनों false नहीं हो सकते. So this is what sub-contrary relation. Now I talk about contradictory relation, which is always between A and O, E and I. Before I go for subalternation, let me just finish this, because there is only one condition. So A, O, E and I, very simple. When you say contradictory relation, contradictory means what? If one is true, other has to be false. If I say all students are present is true, I cannot say some students are not present. So if one is true, other has to be false. Similarly, no students are present is there. अगर कोई भी student present नहीं है, तो मैं कैसे बोल सकती हूँ कि some students present है? तो contradictory relation में if one is false, other has to be true. So they cannot be true together, they cannot be false together at a time. It's called contradictory. Okay, same subject, same predicate. Okay, but differ in both quality as well as in quantity. Understood? This is what the contradictory relation. And the last relation, that is called subalternation relation. And the subalternation relation is what? Subalternation relation, that this part of the square, that is AIEO. Okay, so E universal negative, O particular negative, A universal affirmative, and I that is particular affirmative proposition. So subalternation relation is always between two proposition, that is AI or E and O, which has again same subject, same predicate, like all men are mortal and some men are mortal. Other side, no men are mortal and some men are not mortal. Similarly, all students are present, some students are present, no students are present, some students are not present. So subalternation relation is always between two proposition, that is A, I, E and O, which has again same subject, same predicate. See, you can relate two things together which has certain similarity, otherwise you can't say दोनों में काफ़ी सामान्यता है. ठीक है ना, विरोधाभास है, क्योंकि उसमें एक तो क्वालिटी डिफरेंट है या क्वांटिटी डिफरेंट है, बराबर. तो सेम सब्जेक्ट सेम प्रेडिकेट होगा, तभी आप रिलेशन जोड़ पाओगे, राइट. So A and I, same subject, same predicate. And one more similarity is there. What is that similarity? Both are affirmative, right? On the other hand, E and O, no students are present, some students are not present. Same subject, same predicate, same quality, because both are negative. Okay, but differ in quantity. So A is universal, I is particular. Similarly, E is universal, I is particular. So subalternation relation is always between two propositions, that is AIEO, which has the same subject, same predicate, same quality, but differ only in quantity, because AE both are universal, IO both are particular. Okay, now condition, there are two conditions for it. Okay, I said I will give you homework for the next class. So there are two conditions, and the condition is what? If universal proposition is true, like all students are present is true, then corresponding their particular proposition is also true. Very clear, because some is a part of the class. right? So if all students are present is true. If I take some students from the class, I will say yeah, the A is true, B is present, C is present. That means some are also present. So if universal is true, particular is also true, right? This is one condition. Similarly, अगर कोई भी student present नहीं है, that means some students are not present is also true, right? But not vice versa. Keep in mind that, but not vice versa. उल्टा possible नहीं है. पहला कंडीशन बोल रहा है अगर यूनिवर्सल ट्रू है तो पर्टिकुलर भी ट्रू है, बट उसके अपोजिट पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है, क्योंकि यू कैनॉट डिराइव सम से ऑल. आपको कल का लेक्चर याद होगा, डिडक्टिव रीजनिंग, ऑल से सम डेफिनेट होता है. If you go from universal to particular, your conclusion is logical, consistent. There is no scope of doubt. But if you go from particular to general, तो आपको डाउट हो सकता है, may और may not हो सकता है. तो इसलिए अगर यूनिवर्सल ट्रू है तो उसका पर्टिकुलर भी ट्रू होगा. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि पर्टिकुलर ट्रू है तो यूनिवर्सल भी ट्रू होगा. वन कंडीशन. सेकेंड कंडीशन इज सेइंग दैट इफ particular propositions are false, then their corresponding universal is also false. Okay, I repeat again. If particular proposition is false, that I or O, then their corresponding A and E is also false. If some students are present is false, that means all students are present is also false. बराबर ना? Similarly, if no students are present is false. Sorry, I am saying ulta. Some students are not present is false. That means no students are present is also false, but not vice versa. I repeat again the two conditions. If universal true, corresponding their particular is also true. If particular proposition false, then their corresponding universal proposition is also false, but not vice versa. Right? So, your paper 1 is basically based on this, and some examples they will give you certain proposition like consider this given proposition like all students are present is true, then define or derive or justify the values of following proposition like E, I, O. They will give you that a proposition like A is true, then definitely this one following is true. You have to relate the whole condition. First you have to relate the relation between two different propositions, and then only you can get the answer, right? So for example, if I am talking about subalternation relation, okay, and if there is the proposition like all flowers are beautiful is true, okay, so which one is definitely true? Like all flowers are beautiful is true, then if universal is true, corresponding their particular is also true. So what is the corresponding proposition to A? That is I. So I will be definitely true, correct? So A and I relation you have connected. If you go for AO, AO is a contradictory. So if A is true, O becomes false, correct na? Contradictory na? If one is true, other has to be false. And if you connect A and E together, then we saw that both cannot be, they may be false together, but they cannot be true together. So if one is true, other may or may not be true, right? So doubtful हो जाता है, right? So this way you have to just connect the condition. For given, you will have a given premises and a conclusion, and the correct one you have to choose. And your job is to just revise the condition and connect the condition A, E, I, O. It is a game of just A, E, I, O proposition. Without knowing what is A, E, I, O, how can you go for the correct answer? So if you say what is A, you have immediately you have to answer that A is nothing but universal affirmative proposition. If you say I, yes it is particular affirmative proposition, E particular negative, O particular negative proposition, E universal negative proposition. So A, E, I, O, these are the four standard form of proposition, and the relation between any true is known as square of proposition, right? So condition, I repeat again, there are four kinds of opposition: contrary, subcontrary, subalternation and contradictory. Contrary is always between A and E proposition. So both can be true together, but they cannot be false. I repeat, though both cannot be true together, but they may be false together. Then go down, I and O, two particular preposition has sub-contrary relation. They can be true together, but they cannot be false together, right? Then we have a contradictory relation, that cross relation between A, O, E, I, because they differ in both quality as well as in quantity. So if one is true, other has to be false. That is the simple condition. Okay, and then subalternation between two affirmative preposition like A and I, and two negative preposition is like E and O. So the simple condition is, there are two simple condition are, if universal true, corresponding particular preposition is also true, but not ulta, not vice versa. And second condition is, if two particular prepositions are false, then corresponding their universal is also false. Okay, so friend, just revise this condition, and some example which I will discuss in the session, next class session, so it will be easy to understand you. So today I discuss the nature of preposition, and yesterday we saw that preposition is either true or false, and in my initial stage I said that if you analyze the reasoning, you get the preposition. Now today we start from preposition and we reach to the terms, and we got two terms here, subject and predicate terms. Okay, so Aristotle has talked about the subject predicate type of preposition. So he says that every preposition has subject predicate, okay, and which affirms something, denies something without any condition, is a categorical preposition. The whole traditional logic is based on this categorical preposition, and these are A, E, I, O preposition, which is the foundation of traditional logic. I stop here, I stop my session here, and tomorrow at 8:30 might be, I will with this foundation I will go ahead with the categorical syllogism, which is also a major part of your syllabus. So thank you for attending this session. Thank you and good night. Take care.